Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. Uh, this is a very special webinar. I welcome each one of you who have joined from around the world. And this topic that we have today is Ganotherapy. And a lot of people would not know what is Ganotherapy. She's going to explain you. But before she starts, I'm just going to show you the physical thing. This is Ganoderma, and she is going to talk about, in particular, how this Ganoderma works. That is the brief. Ganotherapy is how the Ganoderma works in our body. This webinar is going to be divided into three parts. The first part is Dr. Sakina's talk in general about health and wellness, which is very important, is the need of the hour. And the second part would be about Ganoderma and Ganotherapy. And she's a master on that. And second part would be, I'm going to give you a live demonstration using these products, which she's going to mention, because a lot of people they would like to understand how to make this Ganoderma with the Morenzi and all that. That I'm going to give once she finishes. And the third part of our webinar will be the best part, and that is your question answered by Dr. Sakina. Right. So let me introduce my sister, Dr. Sakina, whom I know since 16, 17 years. We first met in Dubai. And from then onward, it's a family relationship. I just would like to tell you that. She is a gynecologist. She had her own clinic in Dubai. Now she is in Dallas, USA. And Alhamdulillah, in her entire career, in the health and wellness sector, from the medicine, she moved into this natural product, and now she's helping people around the world. So she said that, introduce me a little and let me get into it. That's very humble of her. So the mic is to you, Dr. Sakina, and I will just mute myself also, and I will uh, request you to start the presentation. Please go ahead.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your kind and generous introduction, Mr. Ghani. It is an honor to be on this platform of DXN. And my sincere thanks to Mr. Ghani for giving me an opportunity to be at this platform and share my experiences with you. I welcome you all to the unique world of DXN today. Now, let me tell you, being a medical professional, being a healthcare provider, for almost, I had an important role of looking after patients' health. And journey of 45 years of my allopathic medicine and allopathic treatment of
Dr. Sakina, if you can kindly unmute yourself. Go ahead, unmute yourself, please. We cannot hear you, Dr. Sakina. Unmute yourself, please.
And let me tell you that I had a journey of almost 45 years of allopathic medicine where I am treating, and my main job is to look after the people's health. And it changed completely my entire attitude of looking at this treatment of wellness when I first met Mr. Ghani in my clinic almost 16, 17 years ago. You remember he said. And that changed completely how do I treat the patients. And that is what is all about the Ganotherapy. And the seed of Ganotherapy was woven at that time. And today, I can tell you, I myself is the best example of me being one of the most, I feel, I'm most healthy because I've been using this Ganotherapy all for 15 years and which is preventing me from any kind of disorders. And let me talk to you now, what is this Ganotherapy, which I have been using it and I have been practicing and I have been advising it. So let's go talk about the Ganotherapy. When we talk about the Ganotherapy, we do talk about the health, because why are we doing this? Because we want to have the perfect health. So what is the health? Now, WHO, the World Health Organization, defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the absence of a disease. I can even add, if required, or even the spiritual wellness and even the economical or financial wellness, which you are going to learn later on in your life, how DXN can give you freedom from all these disorders. Now, what is well-being? Well-being is a state of being comfortable, being happy with no pain. A complete harmony with your physical self, no uncomfortable feeling, no pain, no unhappiness, and that is called as a physical well-being. When you are not suffering from anything, when your mind is okay, when you feel happy and you do not have any symptoms, then you're not uncomfortable. That is called as a physical health, physical well-being. Now, how do you achieve a physical well-being or physical health? So this is a human cell. I'm talking about this human, showing you the picture of human cell because all our Ganotherapy is working on this human cell. This is a unit of a body. And how is a healthy body formed? The body has almost trillions of cells, and these cells make tissues, and these tissues make organs, like it makes your kidney, it makes your liver, it makes all the organs in your body. And these organs together make a system, like a digestive system, like a urinary system, like a circulatory system, and all these systems together makes your body. And when your cells, the unit of the body is healthy, all the cells are healthy, your body is healthy. Now, how do you maintain this good health? There are 4 pillars of health. One is a positive mental attitude. Second one is a healthy lifestyle, healthy diet, and the supplementation. And these supplementation could be Ganoderma, which you will learn later on. Now, what is the famous quote of Napoleon Hill? Whenever your mind is ready to accept, believe, and once you believe that, you can achieve that. So when you are in a positive state of mind, you can say, yes, I can. And when you positively think, all the changes in your body happens towards that positivity, and ultimately you are able to achieve that. So it's very important to have a positive attitude in your mind. At the same time, you should be having a healthy lifestyle, your exercise, the amount of water, I cannot give you more emphasis on that. Having almost 1.5 to 2 liters of water every day, and a healthy diet in involvement of all the fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and remove. And another one is that to have all this, you need to have a supplementation, because there are many times that you may not be able to gain everything through the exercise, through the water intake, or through your healthy food. And these supplementation could be a very good idea as far as the Ganoderma is concerned. Now, what are the challenges? What happens? It is even though I've talked about the health, it's not very easy to maintain the health. It's a Herculean task. There are plenty of factors which affects your health. And what are these factors? That number one, you get the toxins through your food, through the air, through the water. The number two, you get the toxin through the stress. If your sleep is not okay, if you're deprived of the sleep, or if you sleep excessively, that also accumulates toxins in your body. If there's a lack of exercise, if there's a sedentary lifestyle, then there's a lot of accumulation of fat and the toxins in your body, which is difficult to get rid of, and that can affect your health. And most important is there is an imbalance of food. If you're taking excessively, even that will cause affect your health. If you are not taking enough, then also the nutrition deficiency can cause a health problem. If there is acid alkaline imbalance, if you're taking too much of an acidic food, that can also give you effect on your health. It can really make your health very, very poor. And another one is a hormonal imbalance. For any reason, if there is any change in your hormones, like too much of, too less of insulin, or maybe you can say the excessive amount of reproductive hormones, or any imbalance of the reproductive hormones can give you infertility, can give you the problems of your pregnancy. And maybe you can say the thyroid. Any hormonal changes or any hormonal imbalance can affect your health. So how do you take care of how does this disease affect you? How do these toxins get into your body? Now, when we eat contaminated food or a toxic food, the toxins get into your body. There's so many ways where the toxin gets into your body through food. Like if you take the colored items, you take the artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, you can have the artificial flavors. All these can give you, or you use the food with a lot of preservatives, or the food with high fructose, and the food with trans fat, which mentioned, all these can give you the free entrance of the toxin into your body, even without you realizing it. Sometimes we eat food which is contaminated, we do not even realize. It does not give you a lot of problems, but it does put toxins in your body, and your body has to deal with that. And over the period of time, it can cause problem. Then even the contaminated water, you can see this. Any water which gets contaminated with sewage or with anything else, and if you drink it, then that the free entrance to your body with the toxins, and you have to deal with these toxins. Then even the air, what you're breathing, if it gets polluted with all the toxins, and that also can get into your body through the breathing and can cause problem. Then sedentary lifestyle, as I already said, any lack of exercise, the toxins are accumulated in your body, especially the fat. And these are very, very harmful to your body. Then even the stress. Stress can give you a lot of problems. It can increase your hormones, it can increase your cortisol, it can reduce your immunity, your immune system, the fighting spirit of your body, and it can get you into trouble when we have excess toxins. Then another one is, why does the body get disease? Because there's a lot of imbalance in your body. Now, we already said there is a deficiency in food and overeating. Excessive food can give you obesity. Less amount of food or any deficiency in the food, like nutritional deficiency, vitamin C deficiency can give you scurvy. Vitamin D deficiency can give you osteoporosis. Then maybe the iron deficiency can give you anemia. So all these deficiency can, make your body unhealthy. Even the less of the fibers can give you constipation, and the constipation can have a lot of effect on your body. Then, as I already said, the acid-alkaline imbalance, the body pH is 7.4. If your body pH is maintained, your blood pH is maintained, your circulation is maintained, and any imbalance of this acid-alkaline make you tip the balance and make your blood more acidic, difficult to flow, reduces the circulation to all your body system, and ultimately your health is suffering. And hormonal imbalance, I already talked about. Any kind of hormonal imbalance can affect your body. And your immune system, that is something very important. So many factors which can affect your immune system, like smoking can affect your immune system. Then lack of sleep can affect your immune system. Even alcohol consumption can change your immune system. Compromising disorders, like there are so many disorders which compromises the immunity and can give you immunity imbalance. And HIV, that human immunodeficiency syndrome, can also reduce your immunity, and you can be part of a lot of disorders if your immune system is compromised. And you will come to know about how the Ganotherapy helps in improving all these, in making your self balanced as far as your immunity is concerned, your hormone is concerned, as far as your acid alkaline imbalance is concerned. Now, this is just one simple chart. I'm not going through it, but it shows, what are the important food items which has a neutral pH, alkaline and acidic pH. If you want, I can later on pass it on to you on the group, the details of all these, acid alkaline food products. Now, your body tries its level best to defend from all these toxins and all these hormonal effect of above mentioned factors, which I said about those toxins, stress, alkalinity, acidity, and immunity. All this, your body tries its level best to keep oneself in a good health. And how the body tries, how do you keep yourself healthy? There are main three levels of defense. The first level of defense is the discharge phase, where all the toxin which I've already told you how it enters your body through air, through water, through food. And once you get all these toxins into your body, you try to remove this. Your body tries to remove these toxins by different means and in different ways. Number one is the sweat. I can give you one example. If you have a kidney disorder, or the people who have the kidney failure, they have a lot of, their the kidney cannot excrete enough amount of urea because the kidney is damaged. So all this urea is circulating in your blood. So the body tries to remove this toxin through your breath, through your skin, and many a times, we can just smell a person and say that he is a uremic smell, and probably he has a problem with the kidney. So your body is trying to compensate by removing the toxins through sweat. In the same way, we can remove a lot of toxins through urine and even through your film and through your stools. You're taking so much of iron. Many people, I can give you an example of thalassaemic people. Thalassaemic people cannot utilize the iron completely, whatever has been given to, they have been using it. So what happens? Most of the iron is being passed out through the stools. And if you don't do that, then these ions get deposited into your body, and it gives you another problem that I can show you. In the second level of defense, the put aside phase, in that the toxins are being crystallized. If there are too much of toxins which your body cannot take care through the sweat, urine, stool, or phlegm, then that toxins remain in your body. It gets crystallized, and it remains sometimes as a uric acid. Too much of uric acid, if it is there, it can crystallize and remain there in your kidney as a stone. Or if there are too much of iron, it gets deposited into your liver, and it can remain as the iron stone in the liver. Or at the same time, even too much of a cholesterol can remain in your gallbladder as a gallstone. And sometimes these toxic produce get combined with the inert material to form the cholesterol, which remains in your body and gets lined up in your blood vessels. And even the fat remains in your body. The number of fat cells increases. And this is how the body tries to keep the toxin, body tries to keep itself away from the effect of toxins by storing it in a different manner. Then the third level of defense is a tumor developing phase. In that, the toxin which cannot be discharged from the body, after a long period of time, these toxins develop into a health problem such as tumor. As I said, one example I can give you, like how the hemophilic patient, they keep on having blood transfusion every now and then, every second or third day, they need blood transfusion because their hemoglobin is going low. Their body cannot utilize iron and cannot have enough amount of hemoglobin. So every time they give the blood has to be disintegrated after some time. So when the hemoglobin is broken down, the RBCs are broken down, the iron is being delivered in your body, and the body cannot make use of this iron, cannot get rid of this iron. All this iron gets deposited in the different system, mainly the liver, because the liver is the one which is acts like a screen, and ultimately the liver gets damaged. There might be a liver cirrhosis. So these are the different defense system of the body. Try the level best to protect your body from the toxins. First level, second level, they can still do it. And when it reaches too much of toxins, it goes into a kind of a phase where they keep the toxin in the body, and these toxins can have a adverse effect on your body. Now, if there is a defense system of our body, then why do we get sick? But I already told you, there's too much of toxin which your body cannot cope up with, then in that case, your body starts becoming sick. And why these too much of a toxin in your body? Number one is because of your poor lifestyle, because of the food habits where you keep on having the food which has got a lot of toxin in it. You keep having more of an acidic food, you have a contaminated food, or the food which has a lot of unhealthy item. If you have a unhealthy external environment where you can breathe, where you can drink a lot of toxins, and if your lifestyle is poor, where you just do not exercise, all the toxins remain in your body. You don't give a chance to your body to excrete the toxins. And in these cases, your body becomes sick. And most of the time, your bodies, I can say almost 70% of the people all over the world are in a pre-illness state. They don't show any signs and they don't show any symptoms, but their body composition shows that they are the verge of having an illness. They are in pre-illness state. They already have enough amount of toxins which can at any moment tip the balance and give them an unhealthy life and disease or disorder. So majority of the human beings are in a pre-illness stage with no symptoms, and there's already a deficiency in many nutrients. The blood pH is also not maintained, and they are verge of entering the disease. So now, how do we regain our health? The famous quote of Hippocrates, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And the nature itself is the most important doctor of your health. There are main two approaches of the health. Number one, I have put you the slide because the first approach is a conventional medicine, which I've been using it for 45 years. And I know exactly how this allopathic medication works. We have a very segmental approach. A patient comes with the disease, we treat the disease, we focus on the disease, and we cure the disease, and then we forget about the patient. After that, the patient is not coming to us anymore. We don't treat the patient as a human being as a whole. We only treat the segment of the patient, the disease, and we treat the cancer. We don't treat what is the root cause of cancer. We treat the blood sugar. We don't treat why the patient has got the blood sugar, why the patient has a diabetes, and is there anything we can do? The allopathic medicine and certain disorders just cannot do anything about it. It can treat the disease. It cannot treat the human being. So the second approach on health is a natural food approach. It's a holistic approach where we focus on the health of the patient, prevention of the disorder, and we talk about the supplements. The supplement which can keep them well and prevent them from the disorder. And Ganotherapy is the one. It is a natural food. It treats the body, and the body treats the disease after that. The body comes into such a position, becomes so strong that the body can treat the disease itself. So we treat this second holistic approach with the Ganotherapy. We treat the human being. We treat the person as a whole, physically and mentally, to make a person in such a position so that can deal with all the disorders. Now your body is the best doctor, and Ganoderma is your best friend, is the best friend of your body. It supports the body, it strengthens the body, and so that the body can fight against the disease, and it treats the body, not the disease. But the Ganoderma help you becoming, it supports and strengthens your body in such a way, it changes your body in such a way, whatever the problems you have in your body, it corrects those problems, and your body becomes healthy so that you can deal with any kinds of disease which are already there in your body, and it can also prevent the disease which are going to come. So in both the way, in prevention as well as in a maintenance, it works as the best friend of yours. Now, Ganoderma is the one which is called as the king of herbs. It is one of the most medicinal effect than any other Chinese herbs. That's why it's called as the king of herbs. It acts at the cellular level. I showed you the picture of cell. It acts at the cell. It improves the cell wall. It improves the cell ingredient. It removes the toxins from the cell. It corrects the acid and alkaline imbalance, which you already have, and because of that, your blood is becoming thicker, your blood is becoming more acidic, so it corrects this acid and alkaline imbalance. It replenishes all the nutrients. Why do you have the deficiency in the nutrients in your body? Because I told you, like example, hemophilia, your body cannot utilize the iron. So it improves everything at the cellular level. It makes the cell healthy so that whatever the ingredients you are taking, whatever the food you are taking can be completely absorbed and being utilized by the cells. So this is how it replenishes the nutrients. Then it improves the oxygen consumption so that the productivity of the cell becomes better. It strengthens the immune system. And these are the main important function of the cell, which can be, corrected by ganotherapy. And because the cells become healthier, it can take care of all the disorders. If your immune system is good enough, it can take care of all the, maybe I can give you the best example is COVID. If you have a strong immune system, it can take care of your COVID. You don't suffer like anybody else. You don't get the infection as fast as other people because you have a strong immune system. It can fight against the COVID. Your oxygenation is improved so that your balance, acid alkaline balance becomes better. Because of the improved oxygen, your circulation becomes better, your breathing becomes better, and even if you have COVID, it can really give you a good support. So these are the main effect of the Ganoderma. So Ganoderma treats the whole body. It normalizes the sick cells, and in turn, it normalizes all the organs and systems, because we said the organs and systems, the unit of all these is the cell. And ultimately, when your system becomes normal, your whole body becomes symptom-free, and it takes care of its own health problems. And finally, you get out of the disease, or your body we empower our body to deal with the disease and to deal with the disorders. And Ganoderma is the one which helps you empowering yourself. Now, Ganoderma has whatever you see, the Gano Rishi powder or Gano GL and RG bottles. So one is the RG, that is a fruiting body. And another one is, you can see this, it's a mycelium. This is in the process of maturation of the mushroom. At this stage of mycelium, which is a GL. These both of them has their own effect. The fruiting body or the RG, it supports the body by detoxification, and the mycelium, this mycelium supports the body in balancing the nutrition, in balancing the pH, and in balancing the hormones. The combination of these two helps your body in making yourself absolutely normal. Now, Ganotherapy is, again, I can say, the second, approach of the Ganotherapy is like a macro system. You don't need an investigation to keep the patient on a Ganotherapy. I can give you an example. There's a whole group of night blindness, people who are suffering from night blindness. We did not go and search into what is their vitamin A level or what is their problems and why do they have the night blindness. WHO introduced 1 gram of spirulina to all the children in India, and they did a complete study and they found out that it reduced night blindness. At the same time, they had also given vitamin A, because they tested the vitamin A and they gave the vitamin A, but it did not improve the blindness to that extent because there were so many other things were required to make the cell healthy. It was a comprehensive approach which happens with the Ganotherapy, which can, deal with these. And it is true for all other illnesses also. Then Ganoderma also, I did not talk about this earlier, but it can also activate the domain genes, the genes which are not working or genes which are disease. It can, like for any disorder, it's not that 100% of the genes are abnormal. Maybe 20%, 30% or 40% of the genes are abnormal. And because of these, you are having, you are manifesting a problem. So when the Ganoderma, it will activate which are normal genes, which can take over the damaged genes and which can correct a problem, which does not happen with the allopathic medication. Now, I can say about the cancer. We have already seen that it has an anti-cancer property, and it has a very strong immunomodulatory property. And by virtue of these two property, Ganoderma and its consumption, along with the anti-cancer treatment, helps and supports the body to fight against this disorder. I know that with the cancer, the people are taking radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and there are a lot of side effects of chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and they do suffer. But when along with that chemotherapy or along with the cancer treatment, if the patients are also taking ganotherapy, by virtue of their strong immunomodulatory effect, the patient's immunity becomes much, much stronger and they can deal with all the complications of, these cancer. And I have a lot of patients to whom I have been advising the Ganoderma. And I can tell you, at present, I had a very young cousin of mine, niece of mine, I'm sorry. She's hardly 30 years old. And by the time I came to know about that, she was having suffering from cancer and I was on chemotherapy. She was already on to, the cycle of chemotherapy she had already received, and she was in a very bad shape. And that's the time I introduced organotherapy in a particular manner. And after that, she herself said that the remaining 4 cycles of chemotherapy, she could tolerate it very, very well. And after that, her hemoglobin improved, her WBC count improved, and her stamina improved. I have another cousin of mine who was diagnosed as a cancer in a very late stage where the doctor had given only 6 months. And she said she's not in a condition to be operated, she's inoperable. We cannot give her chemotherapy because it's not going to work, and her general condition is very poor. So they gave her some, even the radiotherapy was not given in the proper dose because she couldn't tolerate it. She was put on a mega ganotherapy, and within 6 months, her PET scan showed that 59% of the cancer has been reduced from her body. Her WBC count improved, her platelet count improved considerably, and she could start walking. And now today, she can go to the kitchen and make her own breakfast. Even her depression became better. Her grandkids, she could talk to her grandkids. Earlier, she was confined herself into one small corner and she was not even ready to talk to anyone. And now it's more than a year and she's doing pretty okay, and she's continuing with the ganotherapy, and she's not ready to stop that ganotherapy because she herself has realized what are the important of how it helped her becoming a better person. And this is the reference if anybody wants to know. I have just given the recently, this was in 2016. They had done a control study with a patient who had been given the ganoderma along with the chemoradiotherapy. They responded much, much positively, and the quality of their life was much better. So now, this is something very important I would like to tell. The symptoms and disease are the warning signals. Like high blood sugar, you have a high blood sugar. It is a warning of diabetes. You have lethargy, you have insomnia, you have put on weight. This is a sign and symptoms of having a low thyroid because your thyroid is not enough. So these are the signals of a kind of a underlying problem. Ganoderma will treat the body which take care of the diabetes. Why there is a diabetes? Because there is deficiency of insulin, because there is a beta cells in your pancreas that's not working well. If you take the ganotherapy over the period of time will improve the beta cell function. And because the beta cell function has been improved, it can automatically start utilizing your sugar and your blood sugar goes down. The same way, if you're taking a good amount of ganotherapy, that Ganoderma and the DXN products will improve the cell health, the thyroid cell health, and after some time, your thyroid level will start becoming better. So the symptoms and diseases are the warning signals, and it does not. And whatever the allopathy, we are treating the signals, we are treating the symptoms, but we are not treating the root cause. And now we shall know how this ganotherapy acts in your body and what are the different phases and how does it start acting and how does it end. So ganotherapy acts on the body in 5 stages, not 5 ways. These are the 5 stages, one after another, provided you continue the Ganotherapy. That is the key issue of continuing the Ganotherapy so that you reach the last stage of regeneration and you become better. The first stage is the scanning. As soon as the Ganotherapy, Ganoderma has been consumed, it scans the body like a scanning machine and it reaches the cells wherever there is a problem. It gets concentrated into the cells wherever the cells are sick or having a problem. And this goes on for almost like 4 weeks. So you may not find any change in your system for at least 4 weeks. Why I'm telling you, because this will become very important for you as far whenever you're counseling the patients. Because the patient may come back and tell you that I've been using it for 1 month and I find there's absolutely no change. So it takes at least 4 months to reach the cells to find out what is the problem and to correct the problem. Then the second stage is detoxification or cleansing. Now it is found out that which cell is abnormal. It gets inside the cell and it detoxifies the cell. It cleans the cell. Whatever the toxins are there in the cytoplasm of the cell, it removes the cell. It removes those toxins. So this process acts on the cell, removes the toxins. And how does it remove the toxins? It removes the toxin through urine, through stool, through boils, and through phlegms, which I said earlier. It may come out as rashes because the toxins are coming out from your skin. It may come out as a rash. It may come out as a mucus discharge. And many reflections are seen, which I'll talk to you about these reflections. What happens when these toxins are come out and how does it affect a person and how can you find out and how can you counsel a patient when they're going through all these reflections and especially the second stage of detoxification. And depending on the amount and quality of the toxin it takes from 1 week to 30 weeks. So it's almost like 7 to 8 months for a person to completely detoxify yourself. So be patient. And as I said, continuing of the Ganotherapy is the key success, is the key note for success of a story. Then the third stage is the regulation. Now, during this period of regulation, that also takes from 1 month to 12 months, so almost a year. Now, once it has corrected your cell, it has removed all the toxins from your body. Now it regulates your acid and alkaline imbalance. It corrects your hormonal imbalance and it makes your body at ease. And during this period also, like the second stage of detoxification, the reactions and reflections are observed. Now comes the fourth stage. It is a building and repairing. Once toxins have been removed, the body has become completely balanced. Then the damaged cells are being repaired. The immune system is strengthened by strengthening all different cells in your body, humoral and cellular cells in your body, which strengthens your immune system and recovery of the body function which were damaged like the beta cells can start functioning and producing the insulin, or your thyroid cells can start producing the normal amount of thyroxine, or your ovaries, it has been like in the polycystic ovaries, all the follicles start growing in a normal manner and you can have a normal ovulation and you can conceive. And these whole process takes 6 months to 2 years, because it's going from one stage to second stage to third and fourth. So it's going to take that long, and you have to be really patient with the patients, and you really have to counsel them and show them all these, and every now and then at every stage explain to them how this Ganotherapy works. And unless you use it for such a long period, it's not going to have its proper effect. And the last stage, what everyone would like to have is the rejuvenation. The aging of the cell is delayed, immune system is activated, and there is a continuous process through which the body gains youthfulness. So this one comes in the maintenance of health. If you would like to maintain your health, if you like to have a complete immune system being active all the time, and if you want to delay your aging, delay the aging of the cells, you can do it by continuing this Ganoderma or Ganotherapy for almost 3 years. So because this process takes almost like 1 to 3 years, because this is the last stage where all the toxins have been gone, where the imbalance has been corrected, where your rejuvenate, whether and when your cells are becoming healthy, and then comes this rejuvenation, all the aging of the cell. Whatever is the healthy cell remains healthy, does not age, and all the toxin which keep coming into your body will not have the oxidative phenomena, will not act, those free radicals will not act on your cell, and it will not age your cell. And to reach that stage, you have to continue taking this Ganoderma for a pretty long period. So earlier we talked about the reflection, what happens in the second and third stage of detoxification. No. The reflection, it is a kind of a reaction when the people have, and this is a physical response to Ganoderma, which is called a reflection. It's a release of toxins during the repair of the cells. And whenever the Ganoderma scans, goes to the abnormal, the sick cells, enters the cytoplasm and removes the toxin, these toxin, once it comes out into your blood circulation, it is removed by 4 or 5 different manner. One is the skin. And from the skin, when these toxins come out as a sweat, then you may get rashes, you may have pimples, you may have boils. Especially the people who are suffering from autoimmune disorders, skin disorders, all these, because of the excessive autoimmune response to their skin, all these toxins are coming out through the skin. So they may become worse, they may have more of itching. So all this, but it settles down. It settles down, takes sometimes 1 month, sometimes 6 weeks, but they continue taking the Ganoderma, it settles down. And you can find out, there is a way of finding out whether it is a problem with the reflection or there is a problem with the reaction. If the person has a skin problem, and if you have given the Ganoderma and the person starts having more itching and more rash in your skin, at the same time, whatever is the healthy skin becomes more healthier and glowing. The skin which does not have rashes becomes better. And this is the way you can make a difference that a person is, or the Ganoderma is acting on that person. So you shouldn't be stopping it. It's a reflection. Wherever there is a disease, that patch or that rash has worsened because of the reflection. But the normal skin has become better. That is because of the Ganoderma. So that's how you can differentiate. Another one that, through gastrointestinal tract also, patient can have diarrhea, patient can have constipation. And all these will, if you continue, it will pass on. I'm making you aware of all kinds of, the problems the patient can have or come up with all kinds of symptoms to you, and how do you deal with them. The patient can have dryness, and they can have cough. I would like to mention one thing here, that whenever the people are on the Ganoderma, you need to give them enough amount of water. They have to take 2 to 3 liters of water, because now that detoxification is going to occur, and these toxins needs to be removed through the skin, through the GIT, through the urine. And if you are drinking enough amount of water, it becomes easy to remove the toxins, because now there are a lot of toxins which are going to be released in your body. So increased amount of water will help you in getting rid of this extra toxins because of Ganotherapy. Then there could be running up nose, blocked nose, sneezing, and many a times the toxins are released through the tears, so you get red eye or discharge. There is a blood vision in the morning, but all these settle down over the period of time if you continue taking. And if it is too much for a patient to bear it, maybe you can stop. You can take the advice of your mentor, and then you can deal with that individually or personally. I cannot generalize, give you a generalized treatment for all this, but in any of this case, you can always, meet or take an advice of your mentor. Now, how do you start consuming Ganoderma? I'm sure all of you have this chart, and we have to start with the low dose and slowly increase. I'm sure all of you will be having this chart, so I'm not going it in detail, but you have to start slowly with 1 capsule of GL and then slowly increase. and it has to be taken preferably in the morning on empty stomach. That I would like to emphasize. And another thing, enough water along with the Ganotherapy. And the Rishi powder could be taken in the same way, where there is a combination of both GL and RG. You start with half teaspoon and keep on increasing every week until you reach the fourth week, 1 teaspoon, and then you can increase. At the same time, preferably in the morning with the on an empty stomach. Now, if you're healthy, how much? Because you will find all different kinds of people where you're going to talk to them, or they would be wanting to take the Ganotherapy. For a healthy person, why they should take and how much they should take. A healthy person should consume Ganoderma, like I said, to remain healthy. Your cell is healthy, but all the bombardment of the toxin in your body is continuous through the air, through the water, through the food, and all different, or even the stress. So all this is creating toxins in your body, which if you do not take care of, at some point, your body will not be able to tackle, and you will get into a pre-illness state, and then there is an illness state. So why not take Ganoderma? Ganoderma will maintain your cell healthy. It prevents the aging because of the toxins. So maintenance of the health is mandatory by taking Ganoderma. And this you should consume the Ganoderma. That is the main reason, to maintain your health. And as per week, it is already said you can take the one which are taking it at the age of fourth week. That is almost like 2 capsules of GL and 2 capsules of RG, or one complete, at fourth week, 1 teaspoon of Ganoderma, Rishi powder, or 2 capsules of RG and 2 capsules of GL. This is what is required to maintain. And if you continue doing that, you will feel there is a substantial improvement in your health by the end of the year. And further continuation of consumption will protect the health and prevent any further disease. Now, what happens to the people, for those who have a sickness, minor sickness or major sickness? Anyone which is suffering from minor or major sickness should continue Ganoderma as per first to 8th week. First week, end of the month, you are taking 1 teaspoon, but at the end of the 8th week, you will be taking much more. And this consumption dose, you continue until their ailment disappears or until their symptoms improve. And then you can reduce the dose as per the 4th week, and you can maintain the dose as per the fourth week, preferably for 3 years. So, sorry. This is the one which at the end of the 8th week, you should be taking, the sick people should be taking it almost like 3 teaspoons of Rishi, or almost 6 RG and 6 GL of capsules at the end of 8 months, and continue till they become better. Then what happened for the people who have a Ganotherapy for severe sickness? I can just tell you one of my patients who had a lot of skin problem, and young girl who was 9 months old. Since then she has been suffering from eczema, and she had for at the age of 13 her mother was really upset, and she had tried out everything possible, and still the itching and the rashes were not okay. She started with the Ganotherapy. I started with her on a Ganotherapy. Of course, she didn't take it in the proper manner in the beginning. So, but still, she was, the girl improved so much that in the end, I have to be very strict with her and make her use whatever is required for the 8th week. And she continued using, increased her Ganotherapy up to the dose which is required at the 8th week. She was very much worried because her daughter was young, only 13 years old. But after seeing the improvement, she increased her proper dose, and maybe another 6 weeks of time, she completely got rid of the itching, and even the rashes become better. I had another patient whom I can say had a skin disorder called as lichen planus. Her body was full of lichen planus as red color patches, usually on your extensor aspect, on your elbows, on your knees, and when I saw this girl for the first time, her body was full of rashes. And she started with the Ganotherapy, slowly increased to this dose up to 8 weeks. And after that, she had to continue almost like 4 months of these dose. And slowly the new lesion first stopped coming, and then the itching stopped, and then the lesion became better, reduced in size, reduced in the the color, and the itching. And it took her almost like 6 months to become almost like 70% better. So the Canoderma, so you have to make sure the patient take the proper dose and continue with the doses. So this is with the sick people, you have to make sure that they take proper dose and continue the dose till they are symptom free, and then go to maintenance dose. And another one is a Ganotherapy for severe sickness. Anyone with severe sickness should start as per the first week, go on to 8 week, and then increase from the 4 capsules to 9 capsules of RG and 9 capsules of GL twice daily, or 4 teaspoons of reishi powder twice daily, till her ailment becomes under control, and then maintain the dose as per 4th week consumption. Now, Mr. Gunny will show you today what we should be taking it during this period of COVID. And there is a special Ganotherapy which is called the mega therapy in cases of severe illnesses like cancer, advanced cancer, and there are many like liver cirrhosis, kidney failure, and there are many other things where we can take into mega therapy for certain days, and which needs a very strong observation. And it's an entirely different story. But for severe sicknesses, you can have these kinds of 3 to 4 teaspoon reishi powder twice daily, or 9 capsules, and just a patient over the period of time how they become better. So the ultimate restoration of health, I said earlier, by and large, good overall improvement in your health if you take it for about a year, for anyone, either they are suffering from health or any disorder, or they are healthy. Now, I would like to tell you one important instruction as far as the Ganoderma is concerned, which will help you in your practical, day-to-day life when you are advising Ganoderma. Continue taking the prescribed medication by the doctors along with Ganoderma. If the patient is diabetic and patient is taking the anti-diabetic treatment, please do not advise anything on your own to stop the anti-diabetic treatment or any other disorder which the patient has been taking. You introduce Ganoderma, let the patient continue taking the Ganoderma, and remember, it does not interfere with any medication. Neither the blood pressure medication, nor the diabetic medication, nor the anti-cancer medication, or any or any heart medication. One thing, if the patients are on a blood thinning medication, you have to be careful. Find out how much the blood thinning they're taking, and if they are taking doing their blood blood coagulation checkup every now and then you have to make sure that their blood coagulation factors or the levels are normal. And you cannot give too much of Ganoderma. This is only one condition where I think that I have to monitor the dose of Ganoderma when the patients are on a blood thinning medication. Otherwise, if the patient are on a kind of a medication where they do not need to do when they do not need to check up their blood coagulation levels, in that case, you can give Ganoderma freely without any problem. Then number 3 is visit the doctors regularly regarding the follow-up of illness and regarding the doses of medicine which the patients have been taking or which the patients have been prescribed. Let them continue with the normal follow-up with the doctors. It's not that because you have started with the Ganotherapy, they should stop going to the doctor. This is what happens many times. And the important thing is the doctor is the one who will reduce or stop the medication. He's not the one who will stop the Ganoderma. Like for example, if the patient is taking diabetes, patient is diabetic and he's taking a Ganotherapy, and is also at the same time taking the anti-diabetic treatment. But if the doctor has seen that the sugar level is going low and the patient do not need that much of the anti-diabetic treatment, doctor is the one who will reduce your dose of diabetes. And you will continue with your Ganoderma treatment as such. And maybe once the diabetes has been settled, maybe you can reduce the dose to the maintenance level, but you are not the one to stop the medication. Doctor is the one who will stop the allopathy medication or reduce the dose, and you have to continue with your maintenance dose with the patient. Now, these are the five important. I talked about only Ganoderma because of the time constraint. I cannot talk about all the five products, but these are the important five products of the DXN: Spirulina, Ganoderma, Cordyceps, Lion's Mane, and Morinzi. And all these are highly alkaline. They balances the body pH. It does not make your body acidic like all other allopathy medication. It improves your blood circulation. It enhances your immune system. It increases the oxygen level in your body, and it detoxifies at the cellular levels, removes all the toxins, and it normalizes your cells, your organ, your systemic function. And once all this is balanced, the ultimate disease disappears and your body becomes healthy. So, protection of health and prevention of disease, if you take the right dose in the right duration, believe me, it is very important to take in for the right duration and the right supplements. And these are the websites where you can go and find out, authenticity of all these DXN products. And if you would like to know anything more about how different DXN products works in different disorders, you can go on any of these websites and read by yourself. And if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sakina, for this wonderful webinar, information, your experience, and the testimonials that you have given. As I had promised everyone, that the second part would be I'm going to show the demonstration or how to make this concoction. And then after a few minutes, then the question answer we are going to do. I've already written down the questions. So I just would like to show you, this is what the Ganoderma is. And it is what she had been mentioning. It is into two capsule bottles. One is called RG and the other one is called GL. What she explained about the Ganotherapy is there are two areas what causes disease. One is the toxin and the other one is the imbalance. So when this mushroom is 15 days old, so it is called GL, which works on the balancing of the body. And the other one, detoxification, is being done by the RG. So this is what most of the people have around the world. But those who have powder, and now this is what is in most of the places in Malaysia, Canada, and so many places. Now this is what you see as far as the powder is concerned. This is 70 gram, and this is from 30 to 90 to 360. So these are the different packings. I don't want to go through in the. Then they have the same powder in the sachet. And this is the demonstration I'm going to do because this is very convenient for me. I like to have in powdered form. And those people who are seeing me for the first time, I joined DXN because of the health product. I had a problem called IBS, and Alhamdulillah, it went away, the problem, in 2 years. It didn't go overnight. 10 years of suffering. Twice I went to the operation theater for the endoscopy, and I had other problems too, like cholesterol, like blood pressure, like I was a borderline, diabetes. My whole family suffers from diabetes. So again, a testimonial right in front of you is my IBS went away in about 2 years, but at the same time, I'm talking about back in 2005 when I got myself checked. Alhamdulillah, all my other readings came to the normal. And 15 years, 16 years, fast forward, Alhamdulillah, this is the product which is going to give you a natural health. And if you continue, of course, you have to first have a belief. That's the most important thing. So I'll give you a demonstration. If you can just see what I'm going to show it to you. I have got can you see the water that I have, about a quarter glass? And what I'm going to do is, let me put it more down. I'm going to put this This is a Rishi powder, which is called Mycovita, which is RG and GL, both are combined. I'm going to just put it away by, this is about 3-4 teaspoon. This is not something where I'm going to have any compromise. This is my health. What I'm doing, if you see, I'm stirring it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add morenzi. If you look at, shake it well, shake it very well, okay? Uh, and you see the residues are there. I'll keep on shaking. And then I'm going to put about 30 ml. And we have a container which is in codipine. You can do it like that, okay? And I'm going to just with my just 18 years of experience, I know exactly that is a 30 ml. And then there is the morenzyme, which is the fermented part of the morenzi, which is what I was taking even before DXN. I mean, because of my IBS, somebody introduced me to this noni juice, and I was taking this. So this is about 30 ml. And then the other product which is important, especially for now, the problem that we are having, people are having with pandemic and lungs, is called codipine or cordyceps. So I add 3 of these juices, okay? So that's a little bit more, but still it's good enough. So what I do is I make a cocktail of that. Can you see that? That is to say, there is a reishi powder, there is morenzyme, codipine, and there are also you are getting what the spirulina as well as the cordyceps in the powdered form. But what I'm going to have is the tablets, and the tablets can be from 2 you can start, and you can go to 4, you can go to 8 or 10. This is again kind of my maintenance dose. This is not what Dr. Sakina said, that for pandemic, it is basically to protect yourself, to prevent yourself. And this is cordyceps, which is lungs. I take about 4 to 6. Okay, so this is the normal thing that most of the people are doing. So coming to now, why people are getting pandemic is because of the low immunity. So what is helping them is this reishi. There's a less oxygen in the body, which means oxygen has to increase. This provides 1.5 times more oxygen to the body. That is called reishi. All right, immune system and that oxygenation. This is the nutrition which is required. You can take 8, you can take 10. And 8 is just 2 gram. And the other thing is, which is called a lungs tonic, which is cordyceps. So I have got all that here, which is in the powdered form, and this is the tablet. And I just, I'll just take it right now in front of you all. And this is what people should be doing. This is the investment you need to do in your body. And that is the place that you're going to live for the time that you are in this world. And there should not be any compromise. And I've seen thousands and thousands of people who have come out of their problems. She has given wonderful testimonials. And coming to the other important part, there are a lot of people who say that I can't afford it. Now, that is some people, yes, I agree, they can't afford it. But if they would like to buy a nice suit or get into a nice house and buy a nice car and go for restaurant, there they can afford it. I've been to real poor countries like, Ethiopia and Nepal. These are the countries where the average income is about $200 or less. Nigeria has just started, Mauritania. All these people are taking our products because they know the importance of the product. So affordability, if somebody just cannot, at least they can take this black coffee. There's quite a lot of reishi powder, as well as this spirulina. These are the 2 things that I very strongly recommend. This is in a small bottle of 120 spirulina, and these 2 are good enough. That is, if they just cannot afford it. But then this is where we need to invest our money in. Coming to those people who are brand new or who have been invited by people who are already in the DXN, this affordability thing, they will explain you. We have a loyalty program by which you can get these products coming free to you. Now, whether it is 5,000, whether it's 10,000 or 20,000 rupees, or you talk in terms of dollar, $50, $100, you can start getting it back. And that is your person who's invited you. Please get back to him or her, and she's going to explain you all that. So that's all. I'm going to drink my, which I did not take early in the morning. Now coming to you, Dr. Sakina, there are 3 questions that I've seen, and others can unmute themselves. I will stop the recording now so that